Hello! Here's a brief overview of the last project you have to complete for this class, the portfolio project number 4. So at this point, I am assuming you've read this prompt. If you haven't, make sure that you go to modules week 15 and you look at the portfolio project essay number 4 prompt. And basically, you're being asked to do 3 things. There's 3 parts to this assignment. First, you write a short essay, a reflective essay, and then you're going to include a copy of one of your final drafts of the essays that you've been writing in this class. So that can be either the diagnostic, the they say essay number 1, the they say essay number 2, the I say essay number 3, or the CEE, the common exit essay. So you have 4 options to choose from. I want you to look at that final draft, and then I want you to update it, so make some revisions to it. So first off, in your reflective essay, what I want you to do, I want you to reflect on what you've learned in this class and how you've grown as a writer. And I have 6 specific questions I want you to answer in your essay. So first, what specifically has improved about your writing? Second, how does the diagnostic compare to the other essays you wrote? And the diagnostic, remember, is the one you wrote about compassionate release. So you read that article about compassionate release the first or second time we met in class, and then you wrote an essay about that topic. I also want you to respond to what was the most challenging part for you in this course. The 4th question, what do you think you still need to work on regarding your writing or reading or anything dealing with the writing process? How have you used feedback and revision to improve in this course? And then the last question, what changes did you make to the essay you are revising for this assignment? So I specifically want you to tell me what changes you made in order to help make your essay better. And then when you find an essay that you want to update, I also want to make sure that as you're updating your essay, you keep these ideas in mind, like what revisions did you make to the essay and why do you think these specific revisions will improve your essay. So as you're working on your essay and you're revising it and you're updating it, what do you think that you're doing that is making your essay better? So I also want you to respond to those questions in your reflection. So you have about 8 questions that I want you to respond to, and the length of this assignment is 350 to 450 words, so it's not too long. I would say 2 pages double space should be sufficient, but I do want you to look at the rubric for this essay, the grading rubric, and make sure that you address all the criteria in the rubric. So the rubric is very similar to the ones that I've been using to evaluate your essays. So I'm looking at your focus, making sure that you stay focused in your reflection. So even though you are addressing different questions, make sure that each paragraph that you have in your essay focuses on either 1 or 2 questions that you're responding to that are the ideas are related. So you can respond to 1, 2, or 3 questions in 1 paragraph. Just make sure that that paragraph all is dealing with a similar idea. Development, that you're giving specific reasons mostly is what I'm looking at. What are the reasons that you address in your paper, and that you give a few examples in these reasons. I also want to make sure that you're still using the conventions that we talked about in class that makes your writing appropriate for a college level course. So even though a reflective essay is somewhat informal, you still need to make sure that you have paragraphs so your essay is organized, that you're using proper punctuation, spelling, so you're still being really careful. You've drafted a draft of your reflection, but you've also reviewed it, you've revised it, you've made edits to it, and then you turn in a final draft. So that's under clarity. And then also, did you include a copy of the essay that you initially submitted before? So did you include that final draft of the copy of the essay that you updated, and then the actual updated copy? So I know that in previous assignments you've turned in a final draft. So think of this update as a final draft. So you're making even more changes to something that you thought was already good enough to turn in. And then finally, APA. Does the writing show an emerging understanding of APA guidelines? We talked about what a cover page should look like, so all your assignments from now on should have a cover page. And then if you're using any sources, you should have a reference page. So if that pertains to this assignment, make sure that you include that as well. So at the very least, you should have a cover page. And then I've also included a couple of examples in case you're wondering what a reflection might look like. So this one is an actual letter, and it's a pretty lengthy letter. It's about 3 pages long. So like I said, yours doesn't need to be as long, but this writer does address specific areas that he worked on during that semester in his writing, and talked about specific essays. So I think this is helpful for you to read and see what kind of information you might want to include in your essay. It doesn't need to be in a letter format, but if you do want to make it in a letter format, that's fine as well. I would say address it to me, because I'm going to be the one that's reading it. And then I also include this very short 3-paragraph essay. So these 3 paragraphs are just talking about the essay that this person wanted to reflect on. So they're not really reflecting on improvements that they've made as a writer, and they're not reflecting on themselves as a writer. They're reflecting on this one particular essay that they revised. So I would say look at this example as an example of how you can go about talking about the improvements that you're making to your essay that you're going to include in this project. So just to summarize, I just want to recap and tell you that this project should include 3 items. You should include your reflective essay. That will be 350 to 450 words in length. You will include a copy of the final draft of the essay that you are going to revise and update. So this is an essay that you've already turned in. It could be one of the 4 essays that you've written for this class. It could be the diagnostic, it could be the they say essay, it could be the I say essay, or it could be the common exit essay, the CEE. So you have those 4 to choose from. You turned in a final draft, resubmit that copy that you turned in, and then turn in the final draft, or the updated draft, the one that you made even more changes to. And in your reflective essay, you're going to briefly talk about those changes that you made. Like, what revisions did you make in that essay, and why do you think these specific revisions will improve your essay? If you have any specific questions, let me know. If you find that you're lost and would like to conference with me, I am available for that. So please contact me, and we can find a time for us to set up a Zoom meeting or a telephone call as well. And I hope that you find this last project beneficial. I think it's helpful to think about what you've learned this semester and to reflect on that. And that will help you go on and be successful in the next English course, English 111. So bye for now.